Okay. I'm friends with her sons, and so is Janie. And I got to know her through them, and I got to I read every single thing this woman ever wrote. And in 1990, this book comes out. It's called Mysteries of Small Houses. And I pick it up, and I'm flipping through it, I'm like, wow, is this a selected poems? Because it looks like all these different kind of forms that she wrote with over the years, you know? Very strange. But they seem like they're new. And I interviewed her about it, and I was like, Alice, what is the deal with this book? I don't get it. It looks like the Descent of Alette poems, all these different things. And she said, well, I'll tell you how I wrote this book. I don't think anybody's ever written a book quite like this. I really don't. I can't imagine. She said, I would go into a trance. And in the trance, I would go into the house I lived in when I was 4. And when I was in that house, there was a door I could open. And when I opened that door, I could go into all the houses I ever lived in. And when I went into a house, I would sit down and write a poem in the style I wrote it when I lived in that house. So that's what this is. It's a trance-induced time machine for writing poems. And she really locked into the style, you know. Are you familiar with the Descent of Alette? The Descent of Alette, so here's the thing, we're used to epic poetry written by men. They tend to be about war and, you know, like valor, you know, it's just, I hate it. I'm not a fan. I'm against war. This morning we killed 85 little girls at a school in Iran. You know, like, fuck this book. It's just crazy. I'm gonna digress. Where was I at? Why do I do this to myself?
Epic poetry. You were
Thank you.
epic poetry.
Thank you so much. Epic poetry. When a woman writes, so I teach an epic poetry class of 4 books, but they're all by women. Alice Notley, The Descent of Alette, Anne Waldman's Gossip Murmur, Edgar Basie Phillips' Zong, and Wa Win's Your Ancient See-Through. And when you read those books, they're not about war, they're about the results of war. They're about caring for the wounded and the dead. The Descent of Alette has this very interesting technique that she developed when you read it. It's a book-length poem. In the beginning of that book, you go down into the New York subway system, and then you're trapped for the rest of the book. You can't get out. The whole book, you're trying to get the hell out of there. And there's owls flying around, and there's all this stuff. It's like an odyssey, and it's brilliant. But she does this thing where, like, every 4 or 5 words, there's quotation marks. And it doesn't make any sense at first. You're like, what is this? But you obediently, you know, your eyes, you read them and you stop. She's getting you into a trance. That's what this is. It's like this trance she's getting you into. To read this way, to go down into the subway, and you read that way for the whole book. It's a great experience. But there's a section in this book where she is living in the house where she wrote that, and the poem is like that, like The Descent of Alette.